Hello, this is Dennis from the future. I'm actually editing the video right now, and I noticed the video is actually a little longer than what I typically make, and that's because at first we thought this was going to just be a simple revival of the tiller, but it turns out to be a lot different. There's a few challenges we've got to overcome, so it made the video longer, and I made the executive decision to cut it into two parts. Now, I'm not going to make everyone wait for the second part to come out the following week. I'm just going to release them both at the same time. However, the reason I'm doing it is more YouTube back-end stuff, but I just wanted everybody to know that the whole video is out now. You can check the card up here, whichever side, to click for the second part. The link to the second part will also be in the video description. So after you watch this, you can click that link, or I'll have end card too that will direct you to the second part, so you can watch it immediately right after. So I hope you forgive me for doing this split, but there's a lot of good information in it, and it's a little longer than typical. Let's get on with it, and I hope you enjoy it. Well, we got another project on the bench. It definitely needs a little bit of cleaning up, and definitely, I don't even know if all the parts are there. I found this at my sister's rental property sitting in the yard, and they were cleaning up all the trash that the previous tenants had left, and I picked it up. It is a John Deere 314F. It is a little tiller. The reason I picked it up is, even though I saw that the belt looks terrible, it looks like it's been sitting outside forever. The wheel is broken off. The other wheel is about to break off. Nothing's connected, but it does have a Briggs & Stratton 5 horsepower. So if anything, we could take the power plant off of it. I put the tape on this to cover up because there's no gas cap, and it's rusty, kinda. It's not really. Let's see here if we get a light in there. It's kind of rusty. I should be able to clean up. Why'd I put tape on top of this thing? What is that? Let's see, the muffler is the air box. Looks like it says pull to choke. So it was open, so that's not good. Choke does move, but there's no air box to go on top of it. Let's see. I think this is the safety mechanism. Or to start and stop it, it's disconnected. It's not even, or the throttle. Maybe it's the throttle, because here's the other end of it. It's not even connected. So, I don't know. Let's check, see if there's oil in there. You see my new light I got from Harbor Freight? I've been pretty happy with it. It's magnetized. I do like their other one, the Braun. And I've got one, but I've been trying out this new light. Let's see here. Check the oil. I guess I should clean some of this off, but... Nope. It does have a little bit of oil, but that's because it's been tilted to the side. But the tip of my finger is still dry, so I can't even feel the level of it. So we'll add some in there before we get started. But first, let's get all this grass out of the shop. I don't want any grass taking over. Alright, let's clean up around the oil. fill. And we're going to add the oil before I forget and start trying to crank on this thing. And forget to put oil in there, because that would be not good. Okay, only the best. Walmart special. SA 830. Get some of that in there. Let's see if we can get it in without a funnel. It's at a kind of weird angle here. The bottle's almost empty. Whoa, not that empty. I think it was completely empty. This is where the other flashlight comes in handy. It's directional. Definitely needs a change. I can see it. That should be good enough for now. Alright, so I guess the next thing to do is let's take the spark plug out and just kind of look at it. And then we will check for spark. Yeah, I see they've got the governor is loose and it's zip tied to the throttle. So I don't know. The spark plug looks pretty good. I mean, it's not the best in the world, but we can clean it up. That should work. I'm just going to get a little bit of craft paper. Makes a good light sandpaper. We're just going to clean it up because it wasn't that bad. And I don't want to get the grit of the sandpaper in there, but depends on how bad it is. This one's not too bad. All right. Let's get you closer here. All right, we got the spark plug right there. And let's give it a couple pulls and see what we got. Yep, I can see a little bit. I don't know how well that comes across for you guys. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil for the rings. I don't know what this oil is, so I won't put much. It's probably just regular oil, motor oil. Give that a couple pulls over. Test compression here, put my finger over it just to get a rough compression test. So I'm gonna put my finger over the spark plug hole. Yep, you hear it? Well, that's my neighbor shooting, but you hear that hissing sound? It's got good compression. Yeah, it's got really good compression, so I'm happy about that. All right. Let's put the spark plug back in. I was just thinking, let's just go ahead and try to pop it off here. And let's take the spark plug back out, put a little bit of 2-cycle oil in it, and see if we can get it to fire off. And hopefully not get killed by the tines. So we're going to drop a little bit of 2-stroke fuel in there. I think this throttle's all the way wide open there. We're gonna leave the choke open, and I think we got the throttle down. This throttle cable needs to be cleaned or something. I think this is the cutoff too. We can short it. I don't know. I guess they cut the switch out. That's the governor. All right. Let's see what happens. Turn choke off. Maybe that oil that's in there is a little too much. Let's put a little bit more fuel down in there. I'm gonna open the choke back up. I'm seeing a little bit of smoke. Let's put a little bit more fuel down in there. That's a good sign. Alright, that should do it. There you go. It's not super strong, but I'll take it. So after our test last night, confirming that we had good compression and spark, I decided to take a break. So it's the next morning, got my coffee. I think now let's tackle the gas tank and the carb and see what we're dealing with on that side of it. Let's get into it. So I think first thing to do, let's get rid of, I don't know what this is, the governor holding on to the cable. We'll figure that out in a minute. I don't know why they had that strapped on there. There you go. It should have a linkage attached to something. It doesn't move, it's like stiff. Nah, we'll deal with it later. Alright, so let's get this carb off. It's actually got a cross head. I want to call it a Phillips. But let's see if we get a screwdriver in there. Oh, it's tight. There you go. And this one's even at a weird angle. Even if we took the gas tank off, I guess that would help, but I'd rather just get the whole thing off. Oh, we gotta disconnect the throttle here. There you go. And that went into the hole all the way up to the front. Alright, so let's get this thing off. I don't know how we're going to clean the gas tank yet. I haven't decided which method. I know it's going to be put it in there, put some nuts in it, and then I've got a motor I can try that's a slow rotating motor. We can let it sit for a while. I just don't know what fluid to put in there. We're going to try vinegar. Let's see here. What else? One of the rust removing products. We'll see. Yeah, this is at a weird angle. I'm sure they wanted you to take the gas tank off first. I'm too impatient for that. But even up here, there's not really a straight, it's kind of a straight shot. There you go. Alright, here's this governor. Do you see that? The governor right here. We're going to take that out. I might get a manual just to see. Oh, there's a bug in the gas tank. That's great. Just to see what's going on. Oh, there you go. That's movable. Yeah. This was for the switch. Here's the two wires. So I don't know where the switch went. But they just cut that out, I think, completely. And is that the breather tube? Where's that go? I have to figure that out too. Yeah, there's rust in this gas tank. Alright, let's get this on the bench and clean it up. Alright, so let's get this carb off. Oop. There's two screws here. Nothing's ever a direct shot on this thing, is it? It's all... Let me get a bigger screwdriver. I don't like that. But first, no, that's a 1. Yeah, that was a number 1 Phillips, and it really needed a number 2 in here. I don't know why my number 2 was not in the right spot. Okay, not bad, not bad. Clean. The filter looks pretty good too. Let's not lose these here. Uh-oh, we're evicting our little spider there. All right, we'll take that apart in just a minute. Let's see here. I want to get a good look at the gas tank. I wanted to get that going. See if we can clean it. I mean, it's not bad, but it could definitely use a little bit of rust cleaning, or at least clean it out. Yeah, the bottom looks all right. The walls are a little bit worse for wear. Let's see what I can come up with. Plus, I don't have a cap. We need to get a cap. So for the gas tank, I think I'm just going to use some of this Vapor Rust. I've used it before, so I don't know the strength of it. Shouldn't be too bad. So we'll pour it in, and we'll let it sit for a while, and we'll give it a test. Let's see how high we can get it to fill. That's about a quart. We can add a little bit more. And I did find a cap. This is off of our Carbomatic tester that we made. You can check that video out in the previous video. This was off the tank of that. So we'll use that just to cover it so debris doesn't get in there. And here's a little bit more. I gotta get it on the edge here. A little bit more of the Vapor Rust. So I brought it as high as I could on the lip. It'll get most of it. It's not all the way up here, but it's close enough, I think. So we're gonna let that sit. Cover that up. We'll need to clean that off. And we can work on the carb while we're letting that sit. So the time right now is about 10 o'clock. So we'll let it sit for about 4 hours and see what we got. To get into this carb, let's go ahead and try to take all these plastic pieces off. Now this is actually rubber here. Let's see what this is. So we'll take that off. And we don't want that to go into the carb cleaner. And let's see here. What do we got? It's half. 1. So that's 1. Turn in. Let's see what this one is. Half. 1. 1.5. 2. 2. That's 2. I think this is the actual jet. I don't know what that other one is. Doesn't look like a jet. That's the jet. That was 2. This is just loose, so we can leave that kind of loose there. That's just the bottom of the carb. So how does this come out? I don't want to break it, but I don't want it to go in the carb cleaner. I might just have to leave it. Get this paper out. What else? I think that's it. I think the choke is being held by this pin, but I don't want to take it out. I don't know what's holding that in. All right, we'll just leave that too. I think that's it, other than let's get some of this dirt off before we send it in the carb cleaner. I have found that this is the best stuff. It's not sponsored on this channel yet. Love for them to be a sponsor. But the Super Clean is a degreaser, and it pretty much gets it. So we'll get some of this dirt off before we stick it into the actual carb cleaner, just so we don't dilute it as much. Just get some of this dirt. So I'll do that, and I'll bring it back when we're about to put it in the carb cleaner. There was one more thing I think I forgot. When we take this nut off, this is like the seat for the fuel mixture screw. And I want to take that off because I was looking at it to see if there was a rubber gasket. Oh, there's a jet down in there too. There's a little gasket right there. So we'll take a look at that. But I want to get down in there. There's the jet. See if we can get that jet out. Let me get a screwdriver for that. All right, let's see what we can do. Oh, good, it's loose. It's a brass jet, and if it's tight in there, it can get stripped. I like this screwdriver. This is a Klein. This is an electrician screwdriver, but it has a narrow head. And it's flat on the edges too. It doesn't flare out like some of the screwdrivers. So it goes straight down in the hole rather than taking up some of the space and not fitting down in there. It works pretty well for carbs. All right, let's take that out. So that was just the brass jet there. It looks clean, but it's good to have it out. We'll get that in the basket. And other than that, yeah, there's the 2 jets down there. Pretty simple. Yeah, see how well that's cleaned up with just that Super Clean? It breaks the grease really well. I haven't got in here with a toothbrush, but everywhere else, I mean, it cleans it pretty instantaneously. Breaks it up, and it's pretty safe too. It's not very harsh chemicals. So if you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, it's a little bit less noxious chemicals being used. This is the next best thing. It's Berryman's Chem Dip carburetor cleaner. It does it, but it is has a lot of chemicals in it, so just be careful. Wear glasses, wear gloves. It is pretty noxious stuff, but it works. I mean, it's been around for a long time. I'll show you. I mean, you can use it multiple times. It's not a one and done type thing. So it comes with a basket. So that's where I'm going to put all the little stuff. I'm even going to put, let's see here. Now, yeah, here's all the little screws going there. And then for the carb, what I'm going to do is I think it'll be all right, but I don't want to put that plastic pickup tube / filter in there. That could be all right. So what we're going to do is possibly just tie it off. And I don't want to put the string all the way around it. I'm going to dip it just as far to the, let's see here, to the filter, top of the filter. I don't know, let me know out there if this Behrman's is safe on the plastic or if it's going to eat it. I hope it doesn't, but I tried getting it off. I can't get that off. I'm sure it pops off, but I can't get it. So we're just going to stick that in here, like so. Because I want to get those passages cleaned, especially right there where the filter happens. Kind of like that, I guess. So it's barely in there. So I just need to tie it off. I got a hole here. It's leaking. Alright, we got a hole right here in the table. Tie it off. 2 1/2 inches. Alright. We're going to let that sit. I wanted to take a quick break in the video just to introduce myself. Some might be new, some might not see me all the time in front of the video. I'm Dennis and I run the Garage Engineer. Been making videos for almost 10 years now. This is our 9th year of production. We're almost 200 videos in our collection. I'd love for you to check our back videos to see all the other projects we've done, and I appreciate you watching this one. Over the 9 years, we haven't had any major sponsors. This has all been funded through generosity of people watching the video, and I appreciate that. But I'm now at a point I'd like to grow the channel to make bigger and better projects. So I wanted to take this quick break to ask you, the viewer, to help the channel. The easiest way to do it is just to watch the video, what you're doing now, and also to subscribe to the channel. That helps tremendously. But also, in every video, the items that we use, we always post a link to it in our video description below. And by clicking those links, it takes you to Amazon, and if it's something you like and you purchase it, a little bit of what you spend comes back to the channel. And that doesn't increase the cost to you. It's the same price as if you bought it without going through the link or with going through the link. And also, if you like to see other recommended items that we have, you can check out the Garage Engineer Amazon store, and we have a whole list of the items we use in the shop, items we've used in past videos, and something that you might need to help increase your collection in your shop. So by clicking the links below in the video description, that helps me, but it also helps you. And it helps the community by growing videos and making interesting content for you to view. I appreciate you watching this video, and let's get back into the project. Alright, I got a little distracted. It is 2 hours since we started. It's almost lunchtime. And let's see what we got there. I'm gonna let's pull the carb out and see. I mean, it wasn't that dirty before. Down in there. And it's got most of the rust off. Let's see here. The holes look pretty clean. See at the bottom here, that was kind of dirty. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think we'll go ahead and take it out, we'll rinse it off, and then we'll put everything back together again. I don't think we're gonna get that rust off. It's more of a cleaner, not a rust remover. But yeah, let's do that. I'll go wash it and we'll move on from there. Okay, so I rinsed the car, blew it off with some compressed air. I did want to show this piece right here was painted black. And as you can see, put it in the Berryman's. That's the black paint that's come off. So we'll get that all, but that's just something to be careful of. That Berryman's carb cleaner takes paint right off. Now this black on the body, I think was paint too. And now the brass is showing through or whatever. It looks like a brass colored material. I don't think that was dirt or soot from the motor. That it was painted black on purpose. But I'm not too concerned about that. But that's just something to think about, or take it out of the solution earlier. But you can see the bottom here turned out great. This was all dirt, and now you can just see this pitting of the, I guess it's aluminum. I guess this whole thing's aluminum, but turned out really good. So everything's clean out of the compressed air. Clean these. I'm going to clean these a little bit more. See the paint's coming off all the screws. See that little bit of paint? That's all paint. So I'd rather have it clean than painted. So it's all right. So get it put back together. Oh, and also the plastic came out pretty good, so I was happy about that. Still can't move it, so we'll just leave it. All right, so the first thing we need to do, we'll get these back in. I'm still not sure what this if it's an idle screw or what the screw is. Take it all the way in, and we said it was 1, so that's half 1. There's 1. And then we're going to we need to get the brass. Now, I didn't put the brass in there. I probably could have, but let's go ahead and clean it with some wire. But it looked pretty clean, so I'm not going to really worry about it. Let me get my cleaner. Now, you can use a wire brush to clean it, but I found this right here is for welding, cleaning the tips, and I think it works really well with cleaning passageways. So it's got a little bit of abrasive on the end of it here. Just stick it in there, get the right size. It was pretty clean. So good. Perfect. Now this just gets seated all the way down at the bottom there. Snug. I won't do it too tight. And then here. Get some of this paint off. I don't want that going down in the jet. This stuff will block it. And then here's the fuel mixture screw. Here, let me wipe some of this paint off the screw. Yeah, you can see all the overspray on the screw. Where the spring was when they just sprayed everything. Alright, we were at 2. So let's get this tuned in all the way. Just be gentle. That fine little point. You don't want it to, okay, so that's snug. So that's half, 1, 1.5, 2. Perfect. That the choke needs a little bit of oil in that too. Let's go ahead and put some in there. Put a little bit of oil in there. Help out. A little bit of movement there. It's a little tight, but that should do it. Now I'm going to clean. Oh, you know what? We forgot this. Which one did this go on? I think it went on this one. Let me check, but we'll get that. I'm going to clean the screws that we have, clean this up, and we'll get it put back together. Alright, I checked back in the video, and this washer went behind the spring, between the spring and the carb, so let's take this back out. So this one was one out. Half one. There we go. Alright, let's check the fuel tank. See what we look like. It's only been, what, 3 hours? So we'll check and see what we got. I got somewhat of a clean bucket. Oh, there's our bug. Now this, unlike the cleaner, the Berryman's, is very neutral. I don't think there's a lot of caustic materials. I don't know what their secret sauce is to clean stuff, but it works. So let's see here. So I don't know if you can see. It's got a lot of the surface rust off. I can see, and it's done a really good job. But what I can see is on the sides where there was no liquid, it was really, let's see if you can see it any better. And the sides down there. See right there. That didn't come off very well. So maybe we'll let it sit for a couple more hours. It's not at full strength anyway, it was used, but it did get, I'd say, a lot of it. I mean, a pretty good amount. So yeah, let's put it back in there and then we'll let it sit. Let's see what happens after that. So there you can see the bug and some of the rust that we'll leave out. There's big old chunks of rust. So we'll let this sit for a couple hours and we'll come back to that. I know everybody was screaming at their screen that I forgot the gasket, which yes, I did forget it. But as long as you catch it before you finally put everything back together, that's the important part. Now, I don't know. I mean, it's been sitting out and how hard it is and all that good stuff. I don't know the condition of it. So we'll just do this for now. And if we have to, we'll get another one. We'll find one. Let's see if it leaks. There you go. It's back on. Now everybody should be happy. We can go ahead and put this gasket back on too. Just paper gasket. Perfect. All right, now we're just waiting on the gas tank. So while we're waiting, I figured we could take a look at this muffler. Let's see what's behind there. I heard something rattling in it, so kind of, it's good to just shake it out, make sure there's no bugs, because that was exposed to the elements. Sounds very rusty. So there you go, just carbon buildup, not too rusty. The intake's a little rusty, but not too bad. There is a gasket here, or that's the metal plate. That might be, that's a quart gasket. The exhaust didn't have one. But I think we're looking good, and there's nothing in the muffler, so we'll keep moving on. I was kind of curious what's behind here with our broken tube there. I think it's the valves. I'm a little perplexed right now. I think that's nice little brass screws. I just want to make sure there's no bugs or anything that crawled up in here. Made a little nest. Yeah, it's just the valves. It's a little nasty. I guess that's a breather tube. It's just got some rust right here. So we'll clean that up. It didn't hurt. This right here, I think is like a reed valve type thing. It had rust on it. I think there's rust now, keeping it open. I really don't want to open it up because it's got these bent tabs over. But let me just make sure it gets back in place. Alright, so we got the valve cover back on. I'm just going to run with the muffler as is. Put that back on. Not worried about the rust looking on this. This is alright. And we'll come back and we'll check on the gas tank in about an hour or so. And we should be getting close to at least fire it up to see if we can get the engine going based on just fuel from the fuel tank. Alright, from the future, editor Dennis is back. I wanted to keep you in suspense of what's going to happen with the gas tank, and we'll find out in part 2. Like I said, the part 2 video is out already. Just go ahead and click on this end card and it'll take you to it. The link is also in the video description below if you're watching on another outlet that doesn't have video end cards. I appreciate you going on this adventure with me. I promise you, there's other things that we're going to learn about this tiller and how we're going to fix them in the next video. So come along with me on that. And as always, I appreciate you following me on this journey. And remember the ABCs of making: always be creating. Till next time, which next time means part 2. So click on that video and enjoy yourself.